Hey, how are you? This is not a great angle, but I'm back in the Altima and I don't have my normal mount for my phone. All I have is this little cup holder mount because everything is discombobulated right now because I've been driving the Metro for what seems like eternity, and now I'm back in the Altima and my older son is driving the Grand Marquis. Grand Marquis is what my younger son calls it. We all have agreed that we love the Grand Marquis. That car is awesome. It does burn through the gas, especially when I'm compared to when I compare it to only spending $12 a week on gas driving the Metro. It goes through $12 of gas sitting at a stoplight. We all agree it's a great car. We really enjoy it. I'm taking it later to get the tires rotated, and we're gonna put some windshield wiper blades on it because it needs some new windshield wiper blades. And it's very rainy this weekend. It's supposed to rain all day today, all day tomorrow. Bleh. It sucks. Anyway, I'm at the little thrift store. I dropped off some stuff. Took some stuff to donate, and I went in and shopped, but I didn't find anything I wanted, so I didn't buy anything. So I gotta drive. Let's see if I can shift with you sitting there. Oh, I reckon I can. All right. Who's honking? Are you honking it? Who are you honking at? I'm getting honked at and I don't know why. Who are you honking at? You're fine. You're okay. People here can be kind of weird sometimes. Anyway, I'm trying to leave now. So I'm going to buy some donuts and then I have to go to Aldi. I'm getting donuts for my son's birthday. He's at home rearranging his room because Monday they're going to start working on the pipes. Monday's going to be a weird day because I forgot, but I'm off Monday. I don't have to work because it's President's Day. So I have the day off work, and my younger son doesn't have school that day. My older son has to work like normal, but so my younger son and I are going to have nothing to do on Monday, but we can't really hang out at the house because the water's going to be turned off and they're going to be, banging and cutting and hooting and hollering and whatever the hell. They're going to be working inside all day on the pipes. So what the hell are we going to do all day? Can't really stay at the house. I mean, we could, but I don't think we're going to. It's going to be dusty and noisy and, so it's not really an ideal situation. So, we're going to see a movie. Well, my son and a friend of his are going to see a movie. I didn't want to see it. My son didn't want to see it either. It's the new Dog Man movie. His friend wants to go see it. Corbin said he didn't really want to, but we're going to do that anyway. I'm just trying to kill some time. I said, because originally we were going to go do that tomorrow. I said, can we do it Monday? Because that would kill some time on Monday since we're both looking for stuff to do that day. So I'm going to take them to see that. And I was looking at the theater to see what else was playing that I could go see because I don't feel like watching that. Plus they don't want me sitting in there with them. So I'm going to see, I cannot remember the name of it, like Love Hurts or something like that, where this guy, he was some kind of, I don't know if he was like an assassin or what, but then he left that life behind and he became a real estate agent or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go see that while they see their Dog Man movie. So that'll kill a little bit of time. And then my son wants to go do some driving after that because he has his learner's permit and he drives every chance he gets. Now, he cannot drive while his friend is in the car, or I don't think he's supposed to. Well, I wouldn't let him anyway because I would not want my kid riding around with a new driver like that. Like, you know what I mean? I will drive us there and back. But after we drop off his friend, if he wants to go do some driving, I guess we will. Guess we'll do that. What else has happened? I have spent a lot of time riding around with my son. I think we're now up to over 18 or 19 hours of driving already since he got his learner's permit. He loves it. He drives every chance he gets. He loves to drive. And he's good. He's really good. He's doing great. I'm very proud. He's a good driver. So, yeah, anytime I'm going anywhere, if he's able, he wants to drive. So we're going to take the Grand Marquis, and we're going to get the tires rotated, get them checked out just to make sure they're good, see what kind of tread wear, what we're looking at, how long they'll be good for, all that jazz. Because if you take it to some places, they'll rotate them for free, and that's what we're doing. And I'm going to get them to put some windshield wiper blades while we're there. We're doing that later. And other than that, I am really just kind of taking a break. I'm tired. So it's just, I don't know. It's a good weekend to stay inside and just not do much. It's cold. Hey, I'm just glad it's above freezing. Let's see, do I want to turn? I don't have to turn here. I'm just glad it's above freezing. Seriously, because this would be a mess if it wasn't. So it's just cold rain. It's not a big deal. Oh, I don't know if you saw it. I did post the link to the link to the WXII Channel 12 story about ASMR. I did post that on my other channel if you want to check that out. And somebody in the comments posted a link to where you can watch it if you're in other countries. Apparently this link doesn't work everywhere. Somebody in the comment section had a link that would work in other countries. If you could try that one if you want to watch it. It was really great. I'm so glad I got to do that. That was so cool. So that was really neat. Not much else going on right now. I'm just getting ready to get the pipe stuff done. I do have a video I need to edit. I have a Dollar General. I was finally able to go to Dollar General and do some shelf organization on, Wednesday? Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. So I was finally able to do it. The radio was not on. The boombox was gone. There was just like a lone speaker, and it was wired. It had a wire coming out of it. There's just one lone speaker, but no music was coming out of it. So I was able to do it. But I got to edit that video. You got to edit out all the background slams and bangs and hoots and hollers. And when you edit videos that you make out in public, you realize how unnecessarily noisy people can be. Like, there is just no damn reason for all this racket. It can be very annoying, especially after you've spent hundreds of hours of editing videos, just because it's tedious. You have to edit out people just being noisy, just racket. Just, what are you doing? Blech. It's tedious. I got to do that. I tried to get a couple of extra videos done for this coming week, but I don't know. I didn't make much progress. I don't know. I've just been so damn tired. I don't know. I still feel a bit burned out. So that's why I thought this weekend I would just kind of take it easy and not do a whole lot. Just do what I have to do. I have to do the final stuff, moving stuff, so when they come Monday to start repiping my house, I'll have everything out of the way for where they need to work. So my son's been working on that. My older son's been working on that this morning, all morning, because in his room, the poor kid, they're going in through two of his walls because he has a bathroom on either side of his room. So they're going to cut into two of his walls and his closet. So he had to get everything out of his closet. He had to move his big old desk. He has this big ass desk in there, and it was a pain to move, but he moved it. He had to move his bed. He had to move all kinds of stuff so they can have access to both of the walls in the closet. So, bless his heart. But I'm going to Krispy Kreme to get him some donuts for his birthday. He's 20. Can you believe that? Oh my God. That is insane. There's no way that's right. I keep doing the math on it, and yeah, ain't no damn So, but he is. I tell him, I give him the same little talk every year. Mom, I know, oh my God. I always tell him, you know, I chose to not have you on Valentine's Day because I didn't want you to have to spend your whole life having everybody say, oh, you were born on Valentine's Day. I said, Mom, I know. Thank you. I know. Why do you tell me this every year? I do it to bug him. I love to irritate him. Just push his little buttons. You gonna miss me when I'm dead. I always tell him that too. Yeah, when I'm dead, you gonna miss this. I don't know about that. So what happened was, I was in labor with him all day Valentine's Day. So I woke up early that morning with my first contractions that I could feel. Like it woke me up about 5 a.m. on Valentine's Day. And we went on to the hospital, and I was there all day. Nothing really happened. I mean, I was in labor, but it was progressing, you know, at a leisurely pace. And we were coming up on midnight, and this other lady and I were kind of running neck and neck in our delivery process, and we had the same doctor. So she came in there, the doctor came in there, and she said, okay, y'all are both really close. Do you want to go first, or what do you want to do? And I looked at the clock, and it wasn't quite midnight yet. I said, can I be second? I'm trying to wait till after midnight. She said, that's fine. No problem. I will be back. So she went, and she came back later, and I had my son at 12:20 a.m. on the 15th. So I tell him that every year. I did that for you, you know. I could have chosen to go first, but I said, no, we're good. So, yay. Mom, I know. Oh my God. And see, you get all the half-price candy on your birthday, too. You get all that half-price Valentine's candy for your birthday. Huh? Half-price chocolate. You can't turn that down. Mom, oh my God. Every year I give him the little talk about his birthday. He's heard it a bunch of times. That's like my version of the birthday spanking. And then I have the story from my younger son about he couldn't wait to get here. His labor and delivery went so fast, I almost didn't even get an epidural. He couldn't wait to get here. Woo, it was quick. The whole damn thing was over in less than 2 hours. I was at the hospital. I've told you all these stories, I know. Maybe it's been a while. I don't know. But do you feel like hearing this? See, I don't know your answer. Okay. Well, I'll just tell you. We're driving to the Krispy Kreme, so I have a minute. All right. With my younger son, I will just tell you now, those two pregnancies were very, very different. If you have had one kid, don't just assume that your subsequent pregnancy or pregnancies will be the same. Mine were like night and day. There's just the experience of it. And I'm going to tell you, my second pregnancy was not fun. I had a lot of problems. Nothing life-threatening, thank God. I mean, it wasn't serious stuff, but every annoying, unbelievably pain in the ass pregnancy symptoms you could have, or pregnancy issues, I had them. I had all of them. Oh dear God, I had carpal tunnel in both wrists, hands, whatever. That shit sucks. Have you ever had that? Oh God. I had nonstop heartburn that nothing would help. They tried everything, nothing helped. I had terrible heartburn, morning, noon, and night sickness the entire time. It started almost immediately and went all the way through the 9th month. It never went away. I had a lot of edema. I had a lot of swelling in my hands and feet. Nothing would help that either. I did everything they said to do. You know, dropping your sodium to nil, drinking lots of water. Nothing helped. And I took something for it. It didn't do shit for it. I had SPD, which deals with the looseness of your the ligaments, causes intense pain. I had SPD that even continued after he was born. It actually got worse for about a week before it finally went away. Very painful to stand and walk. What else did I have? Oh, raging acne. Oh, I had acne like worse than I ever had as a teenager. Raging acne. I would break out in random rashes on my neck and back. Eczema. I was a hot ass mess. You wouldn't recognize me. I looked like a totally different person. I was puffy. I was covered in zits. I was just, oh God, I was not one of those beautiful pregnant women. No. I looked like a sea monster. I was, holy shit. I should find a picture of me. There are only like 2 pictures of me the entire time I was pregnant with my younger son, because I didn't want anybody taking my picture. No, I looked terrible. I mean, I objectively looked really bad. Whoa. I couldn't wear any of my shoes because my feet were so swollen. I had to go buy this big size 12 pair of sandals. It was all I could get on my feet. My feet were so swollen, and my hands were swollen, and carpal tunnel and shit. And I was still working full time. I worked literally up until I went into labor with him, because I needed to save as much vacation time as possible. I was on my own, and I'm not going to go into all that, but I was on my own by choice, and that was not a decision I made lightly, but I was. So I needed to save as much vacation time as possible. So I would, if I needed it after he was born, I would have it to use. Anyway, I was working with several attorneys at the time. I was a patent paralegal, and I was working with several attorneys, and all but one of them were great. This one, okay. This is a perfect example of somebody that you like as a person, but you hate working with them. I liked this attorney as a person, hated working with him. Hated working with that man because he liked to do everything at the last minute. He said, well, I work better under pressure, so I like to wait. Honey, I don't like to wait because you put everything off, and then there's all this stress to get things done like on the very last possible day, and it's not a good way to work. But anyway, so as I went along with my pregnancy, I kept reminding him, look, my due date is in early June, and I'm going to be out for I think I took an extra week. I'm going to be out for 7 weeks after I have him. I'm not going to be available. Here is a whole list of things we need to get done. If you want to get them done before I go out, that would be great. Otherwise, somebody else is going to have to do it because I'm not going to be here. And we are kind of short-staffed right now, so it would be good if we could just go ahead and get this list of things finished. And all he would ever say was, oh, we'll do it later. Oh, we'll do it later. We'll do it next week. Just get up with me on Monday. And that list just got longer and longer and longer, stressing me out. So I'm not sleeping well. I'm not feeling good. Oh, and another thing. So with both pregnancies, I had this thing that I called the snarling hungries, where one minute I'm fine, the next minute everything stops. I have to eat. I'm going to eat right now. I don't care how you feel about it. I had like a whole grocery store of snacks and things in my desk drawer, all different types of snacks and things that I could have to eat. I wanted a variety. So I had the snarling hungries with my second pregnancy too. But just imagine this. You are so hungry you could eat a couch, but the thought of eating anything makes you want to throw up. You're nauseous but starving at the same time. That pretty much summed up my entire pregnancy. Snarling hungries, the thought of eating anything made me sick. Misery, absolute freaking misery. Oh, and heartburn too, all the time. All the time. Doesn't matter what you eat, doesn't matter what you do. Heartburn 24/7. Sweet God. I can count on one hand the number of decent days I had when I was pregnant with my younger son. It was horrible. I would do it again 1,000 times for my son. Don't get me wrong. I love him to death. But that pregnancy was terrible. So I'm going through all this and I'm trying to work every day, and I have a 3-year-old as well. So, I'm under a little stress. I'm a little stressed out. And this attorney is making my life hell. So we have this long list of stuff. Well, about a month prior, 3 to 4 weeks prior to my due date, it suddenly all clicks with him, and he suddenly realizes, oh no, she's going to be out. Oh my God, we have all these things we have to get done. So he goes into overdrive. And all of a sudden I come in every morning and he has just stacked shit on my desk. And he's over there in my face every 5 minutes. Mary, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And my stress levels were just through the roof. All the other attorneys I worked with were great. We got everything done. And that last month, they really didn't bother me much at all. They knew I was struggling. They knew I didn't feel good. Not that I went around talking about it, but hell, all you had to do was look at me and you could tell I didn't feel good. And I'm limping because I have SPD, and I'm in pain every time I have to walk anywhere. My feet are all swollen. My hands are swollen. I looked like something out of a horror movie. Oh God. But he's just piling me up. Here's this work. Here's this stuff. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was every day. And so I get to my due date, and I had an appointment. I had a checkup that morning at like 10:30 or something. So I told him, so as soon as I come in, he is waiting for me at my desk. Mary, oh, we got to do this. We got to do that. I said, I have an appointment at 10:30, just so you know. Oh, okay, but before you go, can you take care of these things? I wanted to kick him in the nuts. I swear to God. I wanted to just kick him right between the legs. Like, shut up, you crazy man. Look at me. I look like Grimace from McDonald Land. Shut up. You have no empathy at all. Why are you so terrible? So I was angry because right up until the moment that I picked up my purse to walk out of the door to go to my doctor's appointment, he is just on the phone, calling me, emailing me, coming to my desk. I was so angry when I left there. All the way to work, I am just talking to myself, and I'm saying all the things that I want to say to him, but I can't because I don't want to get fired. So I get to my appointment, and I have to wait forever as usual because they were always running behind. But I get back there, and the nurse or the tech or whoever comes in, and she said, "How you doing today?" I said, "Not good." "Oh, what's wrong?" "Bad day at work. Just not a good day." "Oh, I understand." So she takes my blood pressure with the little automatic, cuff thing, and she goes, "Huh." And I didn't see what it was. So she took it again, and she goes, "Huh." And then she got out the manual blood pressure thing and took my blood pressure again. And she didn't say anything at first. She goes, "I'll be right back." What the hell's going on? And the doctor came in and took my blood pressure, which had never happened. The doctor had never taken my blood pressure. She took my blood pressure, and she goes, "Are you feeling okay?" I said, I'm fine. I'm irritated. "Why?" She said, your blood pressure is really, really high. Like, really, I don't remember what it was. She told me it was some ridiculous number. I've always had really good blood pressure numbers. It was something I've never heard of in my life. Like, wow. She said, "Are you sure you feel okay?" I said, I feel fine. I'm a little irritated with stuff at work. She said, "Are you okay to drive?" I said, "Well, I drove myself here." She said, "Do you think you could drive to the hospital from here? Now, we're not far." I said, "Yeah." She said, "We can get somebody to take you if you don't feel like you can." I said, "I feel fine." She said, I would like you to go now to the hospital." "Okay. Is it that bad?" She said, "Yes, it's that bad. You need to go right now." "Okay. Because you have preeclampsia concerns and stuff like that." So, okay. And they checked my son's heart and everything. Everything's good. He's moving around, heart, nothing to be concerned about right away. But she said, you need to go right now. So I called work and told them I won't be back today. They're telling me I need to go straight to the hospital. And I'm thinking about the attorney like, yeah, screw you, man. You should have gotten all this shit done months ago. I was glad, honestly. I thought, good. I've been telling that dumbass to get this work done for months. Who's going to do it now? Don't know. Don't care. But I figured I'd be back. This was on a Friday. I figured I'd be back Monday, But I was right at my due date, so who knows? So I get to the hospital. They take my blood pressure again. It's still very, very high. They put me in a little room, and they discovered that I was kind of dilated. I was already kind of in labor, but I wasn't feeling anything yet. And it was progressing. I was there for several hours, and it was progressing. And so I had to call my mom to pick up my son from daycare and sort out what was, where he was going to go for the weekend, and got that all done. And they said, you're in labor. You can go home though. Because the doctor came in and said, they got my blood pressure down. It went down. I think a lot of it was because I was just so angry. I was so damn mad. I don't know that was all of it, but I think that was a big part of it. It went down after a couple hours, but I was in labor, and the doctor said, you can go home. I mean, nothing's going to happen before probably lunchtime tomorrow. If you want to go home tonight and stay in your own bed, you can. I said, I'm already here. Oh, and the funny thing too, before I went I learned something with my first pregnancy, because with the first one, after I got my epidural, they wouldn't let me have anything to eat. Well, I got the epidural before lunchtime on the 14th. I didn't have anything to eat the rest of the day, and I was absolutely starving. I hadn't had anything to eat, before we went to the hospital. I didn't have anything to eat. And then after they gave me the epidural, they said, you can't eat anything. You can have clear liquids and ice chips. That's all you can have. We cannot give you any food. So I learned, so it was funny, because I was supposed to go straight to the hospital. I will admit now I did not go straight to the hospital with my high-ass blood pressure. I should have. But there was a McDonald's right next to the hospital. It was right across the street. So I did go through the drive-through at McDonald's. I went by the house. I did go by the house too. And I got my overnight bag for the hospital because I didn't have it with me. Threw it in the trunk. And then I went to the McDonald's right next to the hospital, and I got something to eat. I got like a chicken sandwich and a drink or something, because I said, they know damn way I'm going in that hospital, because if for some reason they need to give me an epidural, I won't get anything to eat, and I am not going through that again. So I sat in the parking lot at McDonald's and I ate my food, and then I drove my ass over to the hospital. Yeah, but they were saying you can go home if you want. Well, it's a good thing I didn't, because at about 1 a.m. that night, I was just drifting off to sleep. They had given me a 0 sodium dinner, which was horrible. It had no sodium at all. It tasted like cardboard and wallpaper paste. It was really bad, but I guess it was better than nothing. But I did eat before I got there, just in case. Just in case. I wish I had done that the first time, but I didn't know that was going to be a problem. So I had just kind of drifted off to sleep, because when you're that big and pregnant, it's kind of hard to get comfortable. And in that bed, I just could not get comfortable. You have these little thin pillows, and I just could not get comfortable. But about 1 a.m., I had just drifted off to sleep, and I felt this pain, and I kind of sat up like, ooh, what the hell was that? Oh, it woke me up. And I sat there for a minute like, is that like a real contraction? Because I never felt any with my first pregnancy. I got my epidural way before we reached the point of any pain. And then a few minutes later, I had another one, and I'm like, ooh, and they say it's like pressure. That's a nice way to put it. And I know now why they tell women to breathe, because they progressed very rapidly. I pushed the little button like something's going on, and I pushed the button and nobody came. Like, is this thing connected? Like, what? Something's happening. And then one of the nurses came in. Are you okay? I said, I think I'm having contractions here. Oh, okay. The doctor had left. The doctor was gone. She wasn't even there. So, I sat up on the edge of the bed. So, like, we'll call the doctor. She left, but we'll see if we can get her to come back. I'm like, well, I hope to hell somebody can come in here. So I sat up on the edge of the bed, and they were progressing very rapidly. Like on a TV show, you know how fast people have babies on TV? It's about how fast it went. So I'm sitting there, and I started to feel lightheaded, and I'm going, why do I feel dizzy? And I realized it was because I wasn't breathing. In the middle of those contractions, I was holding my breath, and I didn't realize it. And I had to remind myself to breathe. And so I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, and it was the most amazing thing I ever felt in my life, as far as just how is the human body able to do that? It is the most powerful thing you could imagine. Like, those contractions are unbelievable. And I wasn't even at the point where we're getting to the serious ones yet. And I'm silently laughing, just like, I was amazed. It was just the most incredible feeling. Just, oh, it hurt like hell. Don't get me wrong. It hurt. But at the same time, I was just amazed. Wow. It's like menstrual cramps times 1,000, basically. It's the same kind of sensation, but way stronger. Just, oh my God. So I almost didn't get an epidural. The anesthesiologist was there, but he was asleep, so I had to go wake him up. So he came in, and I was almost too far along to get it, but I just barely made it. So he came in, and I said, I'm so happy to see you. So he comes. Have you ever seen the needle that they use in an epidural? I didn't even care. Like, please, God, I don't want to feel. I've savored the moment. It's been great. I don't want to feel any more of this. Give me the shot. And if you like natural childbirth, that's great. I want drugs. I'm sorry, I want drugs. It was cool though that I got to experience it. I'm glad I did, because that was incredible. So he stuck. I was holding still. I was on the edge of the bed. Like he said, now hold very still. I will hold still. But we had to kind of do it between contractions. So like, hold on. So they got me hooked up to the little thing so they can watch, like, oh, I can tell you, just hold on. Give me a second. And I'm making myself breathe. So he stuck in the needle in my spine, but it went in wrong. He had to pull it out and do it again. I got stuck twice. I did not care. Like, just, all right, hold on. Go for it. And so the second time he got it where it needed to be. And you have those weird sensations when they're administering the shot, like, like I had these weird feelings in my legs, just like, that is crazy. Anyway, so I got the epidural. So all this started at about a little after 1 o'clock in the morning, like 1:15 in the morning. My son was born at 3:09 a.m. So the whole thing was over in about 2 hours. Woo! The doctor did make it there. She basically made it there in time to catch him when he came out. Like he was on a slip and slide. Sorry, I'm spitting on the steering wheel. So, yeah. And the babies were very different. Very different personalities from the day they were born. Very, very different. I expected it to be the exact same experience. It was not. My first son was pretty standard. My second son came out like the Tasmanian devil, and he remained the Tasmanian devil for quite a while, like 2 years after that, and wouldn't sleep at night, screaming, like just, I didn't get a decent night's sleep for over 1.5 years with him. And I was just a zombie because I went back to work full time. I had another kid there, my older son, and it was rough times. It was definitely a challenge, but we got through it. We all survived. And now today my son is 20 and my younger son is 15. He'll be 16 this summer. Wow. But anyway, I'm going to go in. I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but yeah. Oh, and then they had a social worker come in and talk to me the next day. When I was in the hospital, they had a social worker come talk to me. She wanted to know if I was okay. I said I'm fine. What do you mean? Well, we have some notes in your chart. There are some items of concern, and we just want to see if we need to if we can offer you any services. I said, what are you getting at? What do you mean? And she explained, we're a little concerned about depression, and we want to make sure, which is, I mean, it's great that they do that, but I said, no, I know why you're asking me that. One of the doctors, so I went in for one of my appointments, one of the last appointments I had, and there was this one doctor at the place where I went. There were multiple doctors there, and this one, quite frankly, was very condescending and kind of a bitch. And so I went in to see her, and I was dealing with the edema and a bunch of other stuff, and she felt like I was putting on too much weight. And trust me, it was not because I was sitting, I had a bad diet or anything. No, a lot of it was water. I lost like 30 pounds within the less than 3 weeks after he was born. Of course, 7 of it was him, but it was a lot of water. It was just insane water. But anyway, this doctor, so she comes in the room and she says, "How are we today?" Talking to me like I'm a child. I said, I'm fine. I don't know about you. Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, we need to have a chat. Now, I know that when you're pregnant, you can have cravings, but we can't eat just whatever we want just because we're pregnant. You can't use that as an excuse to just, eat whatever. You're putting on a lot of weight, and that can be really challenging after the baby's born. And I would just hate to see you have to go through that. And I really didn't need to hear that day. Like, I was not having a good day anyway. And normally I might not have said anything, but I said, look, hang on a minute. Can I just explain some things to you? Can I say something? Oh, sure. I quit smoking when I found out I was pregnant with my son. I quit going to the gym because I can't afford a gym membership anymore, because I have ended an abusive marriage, and I'm on my own now. I've been on my own since I found out I was pregnant. I was about 2 months pregnant when I took care of that little problem. I'm on my own, okay? I have a 3-year-old at home. Well, at that point, I think he was already 4. I have another kid at home. I'm working full time. I am taking care of everything myself. So, please forgive me if my weight doesn't make you happy right now. I am not just sitting around eating ice cream all day. I am at work all day, and I work at night to take care of my little boy and do everything that has to be done, on top of dealing with some really stressful stuff from the domestic stuff. So forgive me if my weight is not ideal at the moment. And she didn't really say much. She was just like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay. And she didn't really say anything else about it. But she put some notes in my chart that I would need services, and I was possibly depressed and might have some anger issues. I said, no, let me tell you something. I'm not depressed. I realize my situation is not ideal. I appreciate your concern. But mentally, in my mindset and the way my focus, I'm way better now than when I was supposedly happily married. Okay? I'm doing way better now than I was then, and nobody was offering me services then. I'm better off now. I appreciate your concern. If I need anything, I will let you know. But no, I'm fine. I'm doing great, actually. It's going to be okay. But, yeah, so they did follow up with me again a few weeks later, which I'm not criticizing, because, I think it's good to offer services if you think somebody needs help. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it was just kind of funny, like, really? She said, what about me? Yeah, she didn't like me smiling and accepting her condescending advice, with grace. But screw that bitch. Anyway, I didn't like that doctor. I'm glad I don't have to deal with those people anymore. But yeah, so that was the story of my 2 pregnancies. I don't know why in the world I don't know how I got off on that, but I'm going to go now for real and get my son his donuts, and then I have to get groceries, and then I'm going to go home and enjoy this rainy day. But thank you so much for watching. I hope your weekend is great. Mine's going to be pretty good. It's going to be very low-key and very quiet. And I hope to not have to do a whole lot. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.